Holy Bishop, the Buffalo Bills beat the Saints and marched them right back to New Orleans, 31-19 to go 4-0 on the season. We're going to discuss all of that and a ton more on this episode of Circling the Wagons. Let's go.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Pro Football Hall of Famer and former Buffalo Bill Andre Reed. You're listening to Nate and the Fellas on Circle the Wagons podcast. Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. Go Bills.
Where else would you rather be than right here, right now?
Hey, hey, let's go Buffalo. Hey, hey, let's go Buffalo. The Bills make me wanna shout.
What is up, Bills Mafia? Welcome to another episode of Circling the Wagons, a Buffalo fan base podcast. I am your host, Nate. Guys, thank you so much for joining us for another victory episode where we'll discuss the Bills beating the Saints 31-19 today in Orchard Park. We're going to go over everything, stats of the game, sweet sassy molassy plays of the game, who or what you want to put on your wall of fame, and who or what you want to put on your wall of shame in the win. We're going to discuss that. We're going to do another giveaway from our friends over at Tito's. This one's over a Tito's jersey. John, look at that. Tito's jersey, number 97, Cornelius Bennett. Number 97 there. So we have a lot of stuff to do. But first, I'd like to welcome my co-host, John, to the episode. John, man, how are you doing? Happy birthday. How are you doing, man?
Doing great. What a great birthday gift. 4-0. What if two undefeated teams in the NFL right now? Gotta love it.
Yeah. There's been some talk going on. You know, there's definitely some things to criticize in this game, and we'll get into that for sure, because this wasn't a perfect game. It was actually kind of reminiscent of the week before when they lost to when they won to the Dolphins, and it was really close up until that fourth quarter, and then there was a turnover that happened and kind of changed everything around. So we'll get into that. It wasn't a perfect game by any stretch. They won by 2 scores, and man, I'll tell you what though, you ask the Los Angeles Chargers if they would have taken a 31-19 win over the Giants instead of losing to the Giants, to the rookie quarterback, Jackson Dart, and, see how they would have felt. I think they would have taken the 31-19 win. So I'm not so upset about that. Like you said, 4-0. It's a great start to the season. Do they have their flaws? Sure. Absolutely. The Ravens got bounced by the Chiefs today. I didn't even see the final score. They just got demolished. But hey, it's a good place to be, man. I'm happy we're here, and I think there's a lot of positive to talk about too in this win, don't you?
Yeah, I'm here for it. I love it. And any win is a win. I love it. Yeah, I'm great. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling really good right now, Nate.
Good. I'm feeling good too. John, there was what's funny, when we were talking at the end of last week's episode about like this ridiculous prop bet I gave you, where I asked you in what part of the game would Josh Allen be pulled from the game because they were winning by so many, right? Like, would it be, and my over under was basically like halfway through the fourth quarter. Would he be pulled before that? Like beginning of the fourth quarter, the end of the third quarter, maybe even, or would it be closer to the end of the game? Maybe the last drive, Trubisky comes out, or maybe not even taken out. And we were kind of going around. You were thinking maybe, closer to the end of the game, but I don't think you had ruled out that he wouldn't sit out. You were just kind of like, I think it'll be a little closer to the end. Well, you were right on that one, because I was thinking like, a few minutes into the fourth quarter. They were 16.5-point favorites at that time. The Saints 0-3 coming to Buffalo. I'm like, there's no shot. They put up a fight, man. Like when you get teams that are playing against like a potential Super Bowl favorite, man, they give you their all. They do not like going down easy.
Yeah, I mean, they're an NFL team, and they just got obliterated by the Seahawks the week before. So they're and they haven't won a game yet. So they're just like Miami the week before that. Miami was desperate. They hadn't won a game yet. They were going to give it their all too. So
Mhm.
I think the Bills did well in both of those situations to win those games, but you got to give those other teams credit for trying as hard as they did in those situations.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, everything was on the wall for the Bills to just trounce them. Like you said, they just got demolished by the Seahawks. First year head coach, not a rookie quarterback, but a young quarterback. Spencer Rattler hadn't won a game. He was 0-9 going into this game. So you're like, the Bills can take this. I mean, in some ways, the Saints defensively gave the Bills more than they had handled in a lot of other games. I mean, they sacked Josh Allen twice, I believe, which is not a common feat. They gave him his first interception in 9 games, I believe. So they gave him everything that they could handle, and the Bills still scored over 30 points. Uh, First team to do that in the first 4 games of the season. I think they said in back-to-back seasons since I can't remember when. I'll have to look at that stat later. I have it written down somewhere, but yeah, like you said, I mean, you're playing against. I mean, teams. It's so early in the season. Teams have not given up yet. Like no one gives up at week 4. And it's just like I'm getting ready for, what do they say? 1, 2, 3, Cabo. No, it's not 1, 2, 3. I forget what it is. 1, 2, 3, Bermuda, Bahamas. I don't know. Whatever it is, where they're done.
Yeah, I mean, I think in most situations, nobody's giving up. It's got to be a very unique situation where players are quitting on a specific team because of a coach or a owner, general manager type of situation. In most cases, nobody's ever quitting because they're playing for that next paycheck. They're playing for next year, if anything else. So
Oh
I
yeah,
don't, and plus the competitive nature of the sport, like just like you're not gonna. It's very rare to get on the field and like, I'm just gonna mess this play up. Like, when does that ever happen? That's kind of really rare.
these guys don't get as far as they do into their career by having any sort of that in them. Like so many people have been weeded out throughout, high school, college, before the pros that didn't have the mindset of, just fight till the very end, and they're gone. They're not in the league anymore. So now you're left with the best of the best, and those guys have a never say die attitude, right? It's like, so yeah, I get exactly what you're saying, and we saw it today from the Saints, and good for them, man. They put up a fight, but so that's another thing is like it was in the Patriots' heyday when they were going to Super Bowls, uh,
It's cheating.
and cheating, still needing to cheat. They always got the best from other teams, even though the Bills beat them, or they beat most of the teams. Obviously, most of the time, they still got everything that they could handle from every team they played for the most part. So it doesn't happen. I'll ask AI maybe later, but I'm curious at how many teams that even that Patriots team lost to during their Super Bowl era by teams that finished like 4-12 or like 6-10, right at the end of the season. Probably a dozen of those teams they either lost to or they won by like 4 points. Like it happens. I remember it happening. I can't remember specific instances, but those great teams, that still happens.
So I was listening to some of the radio broadcast prior to the game, and they were talking about that kind of thing. And the last time the Bills had lost to like a lesser team, or they played out at their opponent but lost, it was like a Jacksonville game from like 5 years ago. Like, it's been a while.
Yeah. Yeah. Was that the London game? Was that the one?
I don't know if it was London, but I think they were saying it was like one of the 9-6 game or something like that.
Oh yeah. Was that the Was that no? No. I'm thinking of the Cleveland Browns one, the Derek Anderson one, where they he didn't even have a completion, but they still beat the Bills or something like that.
But either way, like that narrative, like that's just like hasn't been the case in recent years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Joey Hatch just said we have never really played the Saints good. We are 2 for like 8 against them, and I wouldn't be surprised. The last time the Bills played, uh, I want to say the Saints, it was like Thanksgiving. Isn't that the one where Trey White tore his ACL? I want to say sounds right, or was it Von Miller? No, it's Trey White had an Achilles injury.
Trey White's first major injury was against the Saints. Yes.
Yeah, and that was only 4 years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Saints, I think they were the best. They were like, they've only been a Highmark / Rich Stadium / the Ralph like 5 times, and they're 4-2 now against the Bills in the stadium, and I think that's one of the best records. I was hearing something like that prior to the game, that they had one of the best records against the Bills at our stadium.
Which is crazy because, like, we never play them, like Joey
Right.
said.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is, man. They brought it all. Shout out to Robbie Snyder, new listener, new to the show. Thanks for coming on, man. We are if you're new to our podcast, we've been doing this. This is our John. I think this is our 8th year doing this. I want to say, but just doing post game recaps, man. It's fun. Like I said, we're gonna go over stats of the game, Sweet Sassy Molassy plays of the game, and there's a few in this one. At least 2 or 3 honorable mentions, if we don't have one specifically different between the two of us, and then Wall of Fame and Wall of Shame. Let me go into stats of the game real quick. Josh Allen, 16 for 22, 209 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. I was 11 yards from hitting my 5-leg parlay. Everything else had happened except for Josh Allen passing for 220 yards. And I'm like, he was driving that one last, it was like a James Cook pass and went for 4 yards. Like, no, hoping he'd get that touchdown. But he took 3 sacks, which is very rare for Josh to do. So, like I said, they gave him all he could handle today. James Cook, Captain Cook, 22 attempts, 117 yards rushing, 5.3 yards per carry, 1 touchdown. Josh Allen, 7 carries for 45 yards and a touchdown. On the receiving side, Khalil Shakir, 5 receptions on 5 targets for 69 yards and 1 touchdown. He had that long 43-yard touchdown. Keon Coleman, 3 receptions on 4 targets for 45 yards. And Dalton Kincaid, 1 reception on 2 targets for 28 yards. He had that long touchdown pass where Josh caught him wide open. Maybe it was Sweet Sassy. Joshua Palmer, 2 receptions on 3 targets for 25 yards. And let's see. Hold on. Cole Bishop had an interception. Mentioned that earlier. Who had a sack today? AJ Epinesa had a sack. Joey Bosa had a sack. Daquan Jones had a sack. Yeah. And then we have Prater went 1 for 1 on field goals today for 35 yards. Real quick, we'll do the Saints rundown. Spencer Rattler, 18 for 27, 126 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. Chris Olave, 0 for 1, 0 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception. Alvin Kamara, 15 attempts for 70 yards rushing, 0 touchdowns. I don't know anything about Kendre Miller. I don't play fantasy anymore, but Kendre Miller had a good game. I thought a really good game against the Bills. 11 carries, 65 yards, 1 touchdown. Spencer Rattler, 6 carries for 49 yards. And then the leading receiver for the Saints was Rashid Shaheed with 4 receptions on 5 targets for 47 yards, 0 touchdowns. I thought Olave was going to have a bigger game. He did have a touchdown, but he only had 20 yards receiving. I thought Juwan Johnson would have a bigger game. He didn't. And then, yeah, we had, like I said, 3 sacks on the Buffalo Bills today and 1 interception. So those are stats of the game. And yeah, John, do you want to start off with your Sweet Sassy Molassy play the game, or do you want me to start off? Hold on. I got to play the soundbite.
Sweet Sassy Molassy. Get out the checkbook and pay Grandma for the rub down.
All right. John, what's your Sweet Sassy Molassy play the game?
All right. So first of all, I'm a sucker for trick plays, and I love that the Saints did that trick play down by the goal line where they did that reverse thing, and then the guy threw it, and then Cole Bishop intercepted it. And I think the Bishop interception on that play, off the trick play, was my sweet sassy Molassie. I was like, right then and there, sweet sassy Molassie.
That was mine too. Sweet Sassy Molassie play of the game for sure. I mean, the Bills were up 14-10, second quarter. The Saints are driving, right? I mean, it's third down, it's third and goal, I believe. And yeah, that one-handed interception that I forgot that Kellen Moore was the head coach for the Saints, but he was also the offensive coordinator for the Eagles in that Super Bowl that they won against the Patriots, where they did that same exact play. They called it the Philly special. And remember, Nick Foles caught the pass for the touchdown. Like that was really cool. Not only, I mean, I like trick plays too. I don't like them to actually be executed against us properly, but they weren't. The Bills stopped it, and not only did it stop a trick play, something that you weren't expecting from the Saints, but it was from a player in a position group that the Bills and that you and I felt, and Bills Mafia as a whole felt was really underperforming. The safety position. The Bills really hadn't gotten a ton from Rapp, a ton from Cole Bishop. Bishop missed most of the preseason, and then he comes in, and maybe this is his welcome to the NFL moment, to which that he builds off this. His first career interception on that play, and what an amazing interception it was, one-handed in the air. So it's a swing of potentially 7 points, if not more. And then the Bills didn't score before the end of the half, but then the Saints got the ball at the next half. They could have scored then and then scored again, right? So
Yeah,
great.
I think overall, and I've liked what I've seen from Bishop so far over 3-4 games. I've liked it. So
Yeah,
it's also a nice thing.
yeah, definitely. John, do you have any? I have a few honorable mentions for this Sweet Sassy Molassie play of the game. None as impactful as that. They weren't really a Gettysburg. That was almost a turning point in the game, in my opinion. That play, but there were also some really good plays. One I have was obviously the Khalil Shakir 43-yard touchdown where the guy just did not go down, which he looked. I mean, dude. I don't know how people can tackle him. I mean, every time you think he's down, he just doesn't. Like they were interviewing Connor McGovern after the game, and he said that Khalil Shakir has the lowest center of gravity he's ever seen on a human being. He just like his knee, like the back of his thigh is the back of his knee is like touching the ground almost, but it's not. And then he still finds a way to get up and score a touchdown.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was a great play.
That was a really great play.
It just stunk that the series after the Saints kind of did a similar thing.
Yeah.
But I love Shakir.
Yeah, for sure. Another honorable mention as I'm going through the list. In the third quarter, the Saints had scored. Olave had a 3-yard touchdown pass or touchdown reception. Bills were still up 21-16, but they went for 2, and Rousseau sniffed out that 2-point conversion and stuffed Spencer Rattler on the run. That was a great play by Rousseau.
Yeah.
Honorable mention there. Allen had the 27-yard run in the fourth quarter for a first down, and then that led to the Kincaid 28-yard touchdown where Josh passed to him and he was wide open. Like that was a great run by Josh on third down. And then the last one, I guess I have two left, but the one that sticks out, it's not. People probably don't remember this as much, but Trey White had a big tackle on Alvin Kamara on fourth down to get that turnover on downs.
Sure. Yeah, I noticed that for sure. That was amazing. I love that.
Yeah, it was. I mean, Joey Hatch said the Buffalo Bills had problem tackling today too, which is true. On that play and the play before that, Christian Benford had a really good tackle on the play before that to force a fourth down. But then Trey White, even being taken out at one point during the game for Dorian Strong. which McDermott said in the press conference that was always planned. He wanted to give the rookie more reps. Trey White came in when it mattered, and just a great play. And then the last one, John, the last one I'll give you is Cameron Johnston getting run into where the Bills were punting it, giving it back to the Saints late in the game.
That was a big play.
They were only up by 9 points, so 2 scores.
Is he okay? Do we know he's okay?
He came back in the game. I have to imagine that he's okay. I don't know if he's okay to.
He was holding a ball, but I don't know if he was punting after that.
I know. This is going to be interesting to see what happens, dude.
I can get him in a row.
Nails.
Like that happened last game too. He got ran into. This game looks a little bit worse though.
Yeah. This. Yeah. Dude, the guy's tough, man. How often do you see a punter get run into in a season? Maybe once, if that, right? Like probably not that often. Guys had it like 2 times in the last 2, was it 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks? 2 weeks. Just guy's tough, man. Tough as nails.
Remember Brian Mormon in the Pro Bowl? We get lit up by Sean Taylor and he just stood right back up. And everybody's talking about the hit, and like nobody talks about how he just stood right back up.
Got right back up. In fact, he like patted him on the helmet, like that was an amazing hit, right? Like,
right? Yeah.
Just like, yeah, Brian Mormon, man, it's another level.
Our best player those years.
Man,
between him and Aaron Schobel, those are the 2 best. Those are the 2 best. 2 best players. They're punter and our.
Punter hit our defensive end.
Well, no, because Schobel was good. Like he sacked Brady a bunch of time, more than most, I think. Right?
Yes.
He was one of the most people that have sacked Brady, so he was significant. But I mean, outside of that, Mormon was probably our next best player, right?
Mormon was, yeah, I want to say he was
drop years. Yeah,
he was probably our best player.
There's some other Kyle Williams and Fred Jackson. There's lots of players in that are really good, but none of them all at the same time and coaching and.
Yeah, Mormon here was here for a long time, and he stood out as being consistently really good. So, yes, let's see. Oh yeah, that was it. So those were our Sweet Sassy Molassy plays of the game. John, now we're gonna do our Wall of Fame. Wall. All right, Wall of Fame, John. Do you have? I mean, you must have at least one. I know we have one of the same ones together, but probably even more. Who do you have on there?
James Cook, 22, 177, 5-point-something yards per carry, a touchdown, 185 total yards. I mean, yeah, I'll give it to Cook. Captain Cook, let's go.
Captain Cook. Yeah, he's at the top of mine. Honorable mention to who I thought is having a tremendous rookie season is Deion Walker, defensive tackle there, dude. Like he is, I mean, he's all over. He's making splash plays. He reminds me a little bit of, like a much bigger Kyle Williams. Like Kyle Williams would be that guy, like at least once or twice a game, he'd get back there, make a huge play on a 3rd down or disrupt the backfield, maybe even get a sack or something. But he just had that ability. Deion Walker, so young into his career, rookie season, 4th game ever. And he's making plays. So I like that. A.J. Epinesa, I thought, had a great game, especially because at one point we thought he was hurt. He was supposedly about to be inactive, but he ended up having, I mentioned that 1 sack, but also had some good pressure during the game too. And he had a big, I think it was a special teams tackle too, like at one point. I mean, he was flying all over the place. I thought A.J. Epinesa had an honorable mention worthy game.
I like the Epinesa one because I kind of wrote him off. I'm like, oh, he's not gonna, he's kind of injured, whatever. And then like all these plays, it's great.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we The Bills need pass rush in any way, shape, or form. So if I don't care if it's A.J. Epinesa, I don't care if it's Javon Solomon, I don't care if it's Landon Jackson, who is inactive again. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's one of the defensive tackles. T.J. Sanders, Deion Walker, Daquan Jones. I don't care. Just someone get to that.
Are you
The Bills.
surprised? Are you surprised that Landon Jackson was again inactive today? Like, wouldn't this been a game where maybe he would have been active for the first time to kind of see what he might be able to do?
I think this. So what I've been hearing is that he doesn't play special teams, so it's really tough to find a way for him to be on the field when clearly he doesn't have better pass rush experience than or pass rush expertise than Javon Solomon and I guess you could say, in this case, AJ Epinesa would be the other guy that's towards the third or fourth string guy because it goes Rousseau and Bosa, right? And then it goes Solomon and Epinesa, unless I'm missing someone right now. So Solomon contributes on special teams. We saw AJ Epinesa contributed on special teams. I don't think Landon Jackson does that.
And
So
what are they going to do when Ogunjobi and Hoyt are back? Those two extra defensive linemen on top of everything else.
that's why when people are saying, who are the Bills going to trade for? Who are they going to sign? Who are they going to get? I'm like, they're going to have some really tough decisions in the next couple of weeks. Wait, it's going to be after week 6 is when they can get Hoyt and Ogunjobi back.
Yeah.
For their suspensions. So week 7 is earliest. And I don't know, man. They're going to have a tough enough time just trying to find roster spots for that. I don't think they can afford to just sign someone new or trade for someone. So, it's a good problem to have. I don't know. They're not cutting Landon Jackson. Like, no matter what, they're not cutting him.
It's the third round pick this year.
Third round pick. You don't do that.
They get rid of Solomon. And then think about Harrison. When is he going to come back?
Harrison's got to be coming back around.
We don't know.
Tylen Grable, he's on IR, but he's supposed to be returning. Maybe they just wait on those guys until they have a need or something, because I can't see who you would get rid of in order to do that. Now, if you're thinking about it, John, this is kind of like the fantasy football thought of like who you're going to cut when the time comes. It's not necessarily who is doing the worst of all of these players that we just mentioned or other players. It's who is the least likely to get picked up by another team. And so if you're mentioning, like, obviously Landon Jackson, Javon Solomon, who's more likely to get picked up? Landon Jackson, because he's on a rookie deal, and so is Javon Solomon. But like, Landon Jackson hasn't proven anything, but he hasn't not proven anything yet either. So like, if it was between AJ Epinesa and Javon Solomon, AJ Epinesa is going to get picked up by another team on waivers. Like, he will.
They might have to drop Solomon and Epinesa, like to get these other defensive linemen. Like,
geez.
Yeah, like if you have to, like they got 2 guys on suspension coming back. Which 2 defensive linemen are you dropping?
Oh, I got it.
You got it. All right, you got it.
I know one person that they're looking to potentially get rid of. Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
And it was evident today by the fact that he was not active today, and they had other guys switching in to try to play his position as returner today. So who am I thinking of?
Oh, Codrington is one of them.
Codrington. How well did they do returning the ball, John, in your opinion?
I don't
think they
like
look that good.
No, and also I don't like that, and I don't like the fact that Shakir's returning punts and he's one of their top receivers.
That's scary. Well, don't do that.
Right. So that's kind of, I don't know. I see what they were doing to see how it looked. But I don't like it.
John Robert mentioned Codrington will be gone. He also mentioned Shaq Thompson, even played more. Dude, Shaq Thompson in limited experience, I could absolutely see him getting cut. That does make a lot of sense. And I'm glad he brought him up because what are the odds that someone else would pick up Shaq Thompson? I mean, he was a free agent up until what, training camp? He's older. Teams, unless they're desperate, they're probably not going to grab him off waivers. He's an easy stash. There's one guy.
Yeah.
And
I can see
Codrington is probably the same. You could probably stash him on the practice squad too. So those are my
But
top two.
but who do you want returning kicks though? If it's not Codrington, you want
I
Ty
don't-
Johnson? You want Ty Johnson and Khalil Shakir doing it?
No, for all the reasons that you mentioned, I don't want Khalil Shakir doing it.
I'm okay with Ty Johnson back there, but
Ty
like
Johnson,
I don't know about Shakir returning punts. Like I remember when like Micah Hyde was returning punts, and I was like, why is Micah Hyde one of our best defensive backs returning punts? Like,
I know.
and of course he scored a touchdown on the one that was like, why are you doing this? That he scored a touchdown.
The
but-
onside kick, you're like that was the worst. Oh, okay, all right.
Maybe it was a kick return, but yeah.
So this is so John Robert back in. Maybe Curtis Samuel will do punt returns. I love that idea because this was the first time you actually saw him in the offense. And
So
like,
I'm wondering if they're showcasing Samuel to trade him.
ooh.
That was my thought for today.
John, what would you take for Curtis Samuel right now? Because he doesn't really even appear to be a top
Anything,
four.
anything, because he's not. I take Tyrell Shavers over Samuel. So, yeah, that's anything.
Yeah, good point. Good point. I'm okay with that. Hey, man, if you want to, because they can't really cut him because they don't save any money by cutting him.
No, he's dead cap. But this is his last year. So no matter what happens after this year,
No, he's got another year after this.
does he still?
He was a 3-year deal, and this is his second year.
Oh, I thought it was 2 years. Well, damn.
Yeah.
So maybe they're showcasing him.
But again, if you could trade him, because he's finally healthy, hopefully, knock on wood, if you could trade him for even a 7th round pick next year, the year after even,
somebody sees something.
you see, it's worth the money if you save a roster spot, and I'm sure they save some cap space as well. But like, I mean, that's worth it in itself. So I guess my priorities would be if you could get anything for Curtis Samuel, but at the same time, like maybe he does make an impact later in the season, but you can't count on him.
That's not likely.
Yeah.
You can't count on him.
Mhm.
He's been hurt, and then when he isn't hurt, you just don't see it. It was a nice idea when they brought him in, but I don't think it's worked out.
Yeah, it just hasn't. And I'm not even worried about Landon Jackson per se. I think he's just going to take some time, man. Like some of these guys, like Javon Solomon he led the FBS in sacks last year when he was drafted from Troy. Undersized, obviously not a big guy. And he's just now starting to be active this season. Right. So, at least playing defensive snaps. So
it's kind of funny. Like I kind of heard something to this effect on the radio earlier, and it kind of makes sense. Like the Bills, first, second, third round picks have taken time to develop, where their fourth, fifth, and sixth round picks they're right away immediate impact players. Your Deanne Walkers, your Christian Benfords, your whatever. Where your first round picks and second, third, well, you can't. Injuries aside, but some of these other guys, it's like it takes some more time to develop. Even Rousseau, right? Like he's taking time to develop, and still there's question marks.
Mhm.
So it's kind of funny, but I guess it is what it is.
I mean, it doesn't make sense logically when you look at it based on their draft value. I mean, but the reality is, you're getting all these guys. There's some that you're more confident in or more likely to succeed than others, but at the same time, nothing's a guarantee, right? And nothing's a guarantee that it's going to happen that first year or that second year or ever. Or, you get a guy like Spencer Brown. Spencer Brown wasn't a first round pick, obviously, but there were talks of him being cut by the team, and now he's playing an all-time level.
Right. I wonder if their way of thinking is like their first, second, third round picks is we're going to take the most athletic, whatever, most highest ceiling picks we can, and then like the lower picks, they pick guys who they can trust to come in and I don't want to say like do stuff right away, but lower risk in the later rounds, and it just has worked out that way. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. They kind of do swing a little bit in that first round. Of course, they're getting guys at the end of the first round. It's not like they're top 10 talents, but I think Max Hairston, especially from what people there at the building were saying, that they liked him. They liked his progression, even in this first preseason and training camp up until he got injured. They liked him a lot more than what they saw in Kaiir Elam, right? So like that's a good sign. Like there was no question of like, this guy, I mean, there's nobody still knows. He could be a bust still. We have no idea. He's injured, but he did start practicing again this week. I mean, he looks like he's getting there. So I'm excited to see what he can bring for sure. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, lots of decisions. Luckily, we don't have to make them, but there's options there. There are options, even though it didn't feel like there were options. So, all right, let's go into the wall of shame.
Shame. Shame. Shame. Shame. Shame.
All right, John, who or what do you put on your wall of shame in this victory?
I think Joe Brady.
Joe
A little
Brady.
bit. A little bit.
31 points wasn't enough for you, John? Is that what you're saying?
No, I don't want to say that. It was enough.
Can I give you a suggestion?
There were certain times in the game where I was like, "Oh, the Bills are gonna do this," and they did it, and the Saints stopped it, and I was like, "Yep, I told you so." Like in my head, yeah. But no,
John,
I mean, like if I have to pick somebody, that's what it would be.
John, let me just show you how ridiculous you are, okay? Based on this screen.
I'm ridiculous.
The Bills were the only team in the NFL to score. Yes, you're ridiculous for the offense. Now, like, sure, Joe Brady isn't great, and there were some things you'd like to have back.
No, I
But
think
the
he
Bills
is
are the
great. I just think there were some instances where he was a little too predictable.
I
But
wish I could,
overall, I think it was good.
and I don't disagree with you. There are definitely some predictable plays with them. Like look at, but then again, you see this and you're like, the Bills have scored 30 plus points in their first 4
Right.
games of a season for the third
Yeah.
time in team
Yeah.
history, and the first since 1992.
It's great. Love it.
Today marked Allen's 45th career game with a rushing and passing touchdown, tying Cam Newton for the most games with the pass and rushing touchdown in NFL history. Cam Newton, who, I mean, Josh is this is his 8th season, right? So he's, or 7th season, 8th season, but like he's already, at that level. James Cook became the 4th Buffalo Bills running back to record 100 plus rushing yards in 3 straight games, joining Fred Jackson, Thurman Thomas, and O.J. Simpson. He rushed for a TD in his 8th consecutive regular season game, establishing a new team record. I mean, geez, this is how good James Cook has been this season. He had 135 yards from scrimmage today, became the 4th NFL player since 1990 to begin a season with 4 games with 100 plus yards rushing and a touchdown. Like,
Yeah, speaking
incredible.
of James Cook, like you look at last year where there was like much more. I mean, he was the lead back last year, but it was a much more of a committee where Ray Davis and Ty Johnson were getting a lot more carries. This year, like he's on pace for a ton of rushes this year.
Oh yeah, much more than before last. Hold on, I'm going to look at snap percentages for James Cook. I want to say it was 47% last year. Like it was, and the only reason I know that is because there was the discussion between should he get paid the same amount as Derrick Henry when Derrick Henry was, 61%, and all the other You know,
Yeah.
RB1s were more like 70 or, you know, in the 60s or 70s, you know?
Don't
Uh,
even look at that. Just look at like how many times he's touched the ball this year compared to last year at this time. Like that, I think he's way much more of a workhorse than he has been.
so in the first 3 games, they haven't counted this game yet, but he was getting 56% of the snaps, which is a big, you know, 10% increase almost. And he was getting 50% touch percentage while he's on the field. It's like that's a pretty good percentage, just in that.
I thought it'd be more than that, but like,
Yeah, me too.
was he projected to be for like carries, just rushing carries
Oh, okay. Hold on.
for the season over
Well,
4 games?
let's see. So 4 games, we have how many rushes? How many rushes does All right, let's see. So he has 75 attempts so far in the first 4 games. So 75 times 17 divided by 4, 318 rushes this season.
So has he ever had that over 300 carries in a season before?
He is he's never had close to 250 carries in a season. Last year he had 207 carries, and the year before that he had 237 carries.
So there you go. Like this is
Oh,
this
yeah.
is significant difference. Good thing they re-signed him, huh?
It's a great thing. I'm glad we were so supportive in that time. We definitely didn't poo-poo it at all or think like, oh, maybe they'll be better. They'll do just as well. Ty Johnson and Wade Davis.
They can sign anybody at running back; it'll be fine. No, it's
Yeah,
worked
yeah.
out really well for them. They made a good decision.
It's all the offensive line. Meanwhile, they're like, the amazing right tackle was out today, and he still had a great game. You know, in fact, so one of the things you were mentioning about Joe Brady, I wanted to touch on was the fact that, you know, some of the play calling, and I agree, but there was that one play that Ryan Vandermark whiffed on that ball carrier or on the defenseman, which allowed Shakir to get taken down in the backfield. I think that was that the 4th down play?
Yeah, that was the play. I was like, why are you giving it to your receiver to run it while, yeah, like I did disagree with the play in totality. I thought that it should have been an Ellen choice to run or pass it. Like, why are you letting a receiver run it? I get that. I get that the offensive lineman messed up, but even still, I disagreed with the play call.
John, you can't say you like trick plays and then they fake hand it off to James Cook, who's running like crazy, and then they just do a little
No,
quick
I
pitch
like the
to.
Saints trick play when it failed.
Oh,
Like, completely
so
different.
so your trick plays have to involve like a flea flicker of some sort, right?
It depends. Well, Tampa Bay did a flea flicker today. I think it was intercepted, but there was. Wait, see, but no, I love trick plays. I love it. But
But the trick play has to involve a pass. Don't
there's
just
a
run it.
time there's a time and a place for it.
Hey, well, the Saints did their trick play on like 3rd and goal. Is that not the time and the place to do it? Sometimes I
Maybe,
think that is the time and the place to do it when,
yeah,
you know,
that
when it's
might have
that
been, but it didn't work out for them.
it didn't work
Oh
out for
well.
either of them. Both
Oh well.
terrible play calls, yeah. But again, Ryan Vandermark whiffed on that one and caused it. Not that Vandermark had a bad game, but there was a way that it just happened. So it's all good.
Do you think that like this, I don't want to say this was a close call. Like nobody thought we were ever going to lose this game, right? Do you think Milano and Oliver are a step closer to playing next game because of this game, or is it just like were they resting early? Like oh, it's the Saints, we're gonna rest them another game. Like, what do you think?
Man, I like to think that they were thinking about. I mean, Ed Oliver didn't practice all week. Matt Milano didn't practice all week. It wasn't even like they were limited leading up. At least Spencer Brown was limited. I think that was more of a let's just be safe and let him sit another week, as opposed to Milano and Oliver. I didn't see the Friday practice, but I believe Spencer Brown was limited and Milano and Ed Oliver were still out, I'd have to say. But then you could also look at this next game. It's like, well, rather than have them play against the Falcons in Atlanta, which I think the Falcons could be a tough team to beat in Atlanta on Monday
Do
Night
they play the
Football.
Falcons? Do they play the Falcons
Oh no, I'm
next? Or
sorry.
they
Oh no,
play-
no, oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's the Patriots. I got that wrong. My bad.
Oh.
Good catch. They're playing the Patriots on Sunday night, in Buffalo, which the Patriots look good today. So
And it's a divisional opponent, and you want to win.
let's hope. Let's hope that that's something that they come back for. But yeah, I think it's possible. I think it's possible they looked at that game and that's not even a divisional opponent. They're coming to us. They're 0-3. Let's be safe. But again, I think that was more Spencer Brown than Milano and Oliver, the way I understand it. So
That sounds right.
so they're bringing it up in the chat. I got to bring this up. Josh Allen had a rushing touchdown today, marked his 70th career scrimmage touchdown, surpassing O.J. Simpson's at 69 for the third most in team history. He trails only Andre Reed and Thurman Thomas, who have 87, for the most scrimmage touchdowns in Bills history. You think Josh Allen beats that in the next couple of years? He surpasses as the most career scrimmage touchdowns.
He might be that in like you look at some of these quarterbacks with rushing touchdowns, like Cam Newton. He's got 75 or something. Like I think he can top that. I think he's going to top Jim Kelly for passing touchdowns. He only needs 37 more for that. 37, 38, something like that. Yeah, he's going to get tons of records. I think it's inevitable.
This is a fun. It's a fun time. You always has to, as much as you criticize maybe McDermott, sometimes Josh Allen, sometimes Joe Brady, this offense. I mean, what we're witnessing is the kind of things that we dreamt about during the drought, right? Like we could not. It was almost impossible to see something like that happen. Like being able to watch what we're watching right now, and it's so fun. It's so much like even on a game where people think they should have won by more, I think that's kind of a product of, the amazing era that we're living in, that like, I guess I don't take that for granted because we've lived through so many crappy seasons. Like what we're witnessing is great. Even if the Bills don't destroy the 0-3 Saints, this is such a good win, man. I can't be pessimistic about this. I've seen people say, fire McDermott. What is he doing? I'm like, dude, like just enjoy it, man, because they could win. I mean, they wanted to fire Nick Sirianni last year, and he dismantled Andy Reid and the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. So, like, let's take it with a grain of salt. Like, this isn't. They could still go really, really far with the same team, and then anyone and everyone that said, fire Sean McDermott or fire Joe Brady or whatever, it doesn't matter. So, Milano and Ed Oliver did not practice once last week. Spencer Brown did have a limited practice on Friday. So,
yeah, no, and I agree with that sentiment. Like I was actually talking about this earlier today to some friends. Like I remember watching Jim Kelly play and Thurman Thomas and Bruce Smith and all that, and it was great. And then to live through that big drought period, and not only to come out with a quarterback by sheer luck, it seems, but like best in the league. It's amazing to watch them and to watch this team, and to really have a shot at the 1 seed this year and essentially go all the way. Like it's just amazing, and I'm praying for it to happen because, like, you know, it would just be great for all Buffalo.
The 1 seed, the bye, the home field advantage, no matter what. I mean, that it gives, it's banged up as this team always feels like they are, to get that extra week and not get beat up for one more game like they have been every single time they've made the playoffs since they broke the drought would be tremendous. I think that could be the small thing that gets them over the hump, in my opinion. I think all Bills fans are looking to that. I mean, before I even think Super Bowl, which would love that, uh, it's definitely 1 seed. It's definitely 1 seed before anything else.
And
Which
it's so fun. It's so crazy because, like, before the Bills were good again, it was always, oh, the top 2 seeds get a bye, and now it's been one. Only one team gets a bye. So once they got good, it's only been one team. They've never gotten it. They've always gotten 2.
I know.
So it really sucks, but it is what it is. But I think sure they're in really good position to get that.
This is the best position they've been at. Only 4 games in, of course, but this is the best position they've been in for sure so far. Especially considering everyone else that's Burrow is out until at least December. I mean, this is the best you have. I mean, the Saints or the Chiefs are what now 2-2. The Ravens are 1-3.
Tiebreaker over the Ravens. The Chargers lost to the Giants. I mean, it's the NFL. Anybody can lose to anybody. So, we almost lost to nobody, but we could have lost to somebody, I suppose. But we haven't. So you can't take anything for granted in this league.
Okay, last thing we do before we get into the giveaway is we're going to go to Twitter. After every game, I say, what are some hot takes from folks on Twitter? If you're not following us, please do. We're at CTW Pod, Circling the Wagons Pod. Let's see. What's your hot take on the Buffalo Bills? Bill Lasso says the defense needs to be better at tackling. Seriously, just practice that all week. And why did it look like it was so painful for the ref to call that roughing kicker? Refs did their best to keep the Saints in the game. I can't disagree with that. John, actually, I didn't even give my wall of shame because we got on to another topic. Tackling was up there as an honorable mention, which Bill Lasso just mentioned. I also had penalties today. Penalties were really bad. And special teams, mostly with the coffin corner punt that happened against Buffalo, the penalty by Reed Ferguson on that one play to march the Bills or march the other team a little bit further up onto the field. And just in general, they just didn't look great without Codrington in returning.
Yeah, definitely penalties are bad. Rattler running up the middle all those times for scrambling and getting all those first downs. And the theme for the year and previous years is the third down defense. Hasn't been good.
Yeah, should we just give them an honorable mention at minimum each week? And the wall of shame is just third down defense. This is rough. Josh Allen's left arm says, hot take, Spencer Brown might be the third most valuable offensive player this year. The O-line looked completely different this week. I'd say in pass offense for sure. I mean, we just mentioned Josh Allen taking 3 sacks today. I don't think he's taken more than 1 sack each game for the first 3 weeks. And at least 1 or 2 of those games, he didn't even have a sack. So yeah, I like that hot take. Spencer Brown being that important. Although the Bills were able to run the ball just as effectively, which is a good sign. MVP, the Bills schedule. LVP, least valuable player, Trubisky. Everyone thought he'd get a full quarter of action. I didn't even notice him. Almost invisible. LOL. I love
That's
that.
good.
Love that. AJ Tharp says 4-0. Allen and Bernard must do rock, paper, scissors every week to see whether it's the offense or defense that carries a team to victory. It's never both. We need more out of the D-line. We need to activate NoHo Hank and see what he can provide. He's talking about Landon Jackson. I love that one. I love that. Bernard had some really good pressure through the middle, which I haven't really seen them blitz him a lot this season. So that was a cool wrinkle today that Bobby Babbage did. Richard W. Griswold says, hardly a work of art, but a W is a W. A rare interception for Allen, brilliant INT for Bishop, 189 rushing yards surrendered. Cook was awesome. Pass rush looked better. We missed Brown at right tackle. McDermott correct. They got out-muscled for at least half the game. The Saints ultimately outmatched. 4-0. Jason Statham says, we need to shore up at safety. Didn't we sign Poyer? Get him in the team. Walker is a stud, but needs help up front. Yeah. He's doing well so far. You know what's funny, John, is I hate using this in like saying Deion Walker I thought had a good game, but then not noticing TJ Sanders. And I feel like they'll always be linked together because TJ Sanders was a 2nd-round pick and Deion Walker was a 4th-round pick. But I saw Sanders in for a couple of snaps, and I was kind of hoping he would somehow make an impact. Just hasn't really this season, at least noticeably so. Not ready to give up on him clearly, but just noticeable.
Yeah, it's been a few games. It's not like it doesn't necessarily have to be a Kyrie Williams, Christian Benford scenario. They could both be great.
Yeah.
Don't know. Too early.
Yeah, for sure. Just a hand in a frog puppet says Babbage needs to be fired at or before the bye. Let Nielsen take the reins. That is a hot take. I'm not ready for that yet. I think, dude, as far as Babbage goes, I kind of think he has a little bit of a pass here. We just mentioned all the injuries. Ed Oliver is out. Matt Milano's out. Bernard was out for a series.
How many points did the Saints score?
They scored 19, John.
Yeah, less than 20. I think that's fine. If the offense scores more than 30 and the defense allows less than 20, I think it's a good game, right? Right? That's good, right?
I don't disagree with that. I think people just want them to be dominant, which I get. You know,
I know you want the 50-0 game, but like that's the NFL. Like everybody's good. Everybody is good.
So the Bills did earlier. Richard W. Griswold mentioned 189 rushing yards surrendered, which is for sure true, right? Like that's not a great stat, but the Bills are allowing like less than 130 yards of passing each game. And you could say that part of the reason why is because other teams are able to rush on the Bills. But I look at it as, well, dude, I'll let you rush on me as long as you're not scoring all the time, right? Like I would much rather take that up than like 400 yards passing every game. Like that's not even, if there's got to be a weakness on this team, let it be the rush defense.
Oh, that's the way it's always been. So,
yeah.
Even when the defense was good,
yeah,
2020, it was still the rush defense that was bad. But no, I mean, like, yeah, you're absolutely right. Like, I'm not worried at all right now. The offense is clicking, 30 points every game. The defense is holding its own. Whatever.
John, this I want to ask you a question after we talk about Chad LeBree's comment, because this is really good. He said the defense needs to come out faster and more on fire. Takes way too long for them to get rolling. Cook kept cooking, and Allen kept the offense moving toward another victory. Happy Victory Monday. Go Bills. I love that one. John, one of the things I'm impressed with the Buffalo Bills in general, from the coaching staff, from Babbage, from McDermott, from Joe Brady, is their adjustments in the second half. Now, does it last the entire half? No, I don't think any adjustments do, but like they always seem to come out on fire in the second half for whatever reason, which I do like. And then they hit a lull in like the third quarter or some point, but then they come back in the fourth quarter. You know what I mean? Sure. Have you noticed that too?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I saw it today, kind of.
Yeah. Jim Dubs said definitely not winning a championship unless the D tightens up. John, here's a good question. I'm glad Jim brought this up, because they say defense wins championships, right? You look at the Eagles defense last season. Like you could argue that the obviously the Eagles' offense was great, but I think it was the Eagles' defense that won them the game. Just being able to put a stranglehold on Patrick Mahomes in that offense, right?
Okay.
Do you ever worry, like, sure, Josh Allen scoring 30 points a game? Guess what? The Bills' K-gun offense in the 90s, they were putting up a ton of points too. And then when they faced the Giants and a backup quarterback, and the Bills were, a really good defense, they couldn't win that game when it mattered.
Okay, let's not bring up old wounds here.
I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying that they can't get to that level where they are, because people will become healthy. Maxwell Harrison is going to become healthy. Ed Oliver is going to be healthy. Matt Milano is going to be healthy. Like, they're going to get their good players back. And their other players are going to get better over time. Dorian Strong's only going to get better. Deion Walker's only going to get better. TJ Sanders is only going to get better. Maybe Landon Jackson will even be active. Like, there's Michael Hoyt could be the key to all of this, right? Maybe it's Larry Ogunjobi, right? Like, it could be all this stuff.
I feel like you're making it worse. You're saying all these things, and you're making me like you're making me
More nervous, less confident. But but like they aren't dominant right now. That is a fact. They're okay. They're pretty good. They're not dominant by any stretch of the imagination.
Who's not dominant?
The Bills defense.
Or 4-0.
The Bills defense, which is true. But when it matters, can they stop a team like the Chiefs from scoring 35 points? I think they can. If everyone's healthy and they still continue to get better, I think that they can do it. They're just not there right now. And that's all right. Jeremy Fox on YouTube says, I keep telling myself that maybe we aren't putting our best stuff defensively on tape when we can play vanilla D schemes and still win against weaker teams. I hope that's what we're doing. John, I love that comment. So you weren't feeling great after my comment. That should make you feel good. If that's it.
But I don't know. They've been blitzing a lot all these games. They've blitzed a lot. They're like one of the top blitzing teams.
Well, they have to. They got to get some pass rush somehow.
Exactly. They're not playing vanilla at all.
I mean, not just
They're
blitzing.
manufacturing pressure in any way that they can.
I still think I'm gonna go with Jeremy.
They can't do it with their front four, and they know that they can't cover with their defensive backs, so they are blitzing. And other teams know this, and those other teams are going to adjust.
Maybe,
especially the better teams. So once we get to the playoffs, that's going to be an issue. Unless they can figure something out in between.
Bosa got some pressure today.
Yeah. I feel like Bosa kind of over pursues a lot. He's good. I love him. But I feel like sometimes he kind of like...
Yeah. He kind of Von Millers it sometimes. Yeah.
No, no. I feel like Von Miller was better.
Von Miller last year, Von Miller would run 12 yards upfield.
No. Before Von Miller's injury.
Oh, yeah. Well, he was great.
Yeah. I think he was almost better than Bosa is now.
Oh, 100% he was.
Because Bosa kind of over pursues a lot. But Bosa is doing well. He is generating pressure. I think he gets fooled sometimes with like some of the play fakes.
Has that been, we were just talking about third down defenses being an issue. Can we say like the Bills defense getting caught up in misdirection? Like that's been an issue for 20 years. I feel like.
Yeah, that's always been a problem.
There's motion this way, and then none of the Bills defenders know which way it's going, and then it's like a 20-yard play. Like if I was
can't defend a screen pass. Also, they can't execute a screen pass either.
No. We should put together a list of common themes for the Bills teams in the last like 5, 10, 15, 20 years. And those would be at the top of them. bend but don't break defenses, terrible third and long defenses, being awful. Like you said, not being able to defend a screen pass, not being
In
able to
fact,
execute.
even back in the 90s with Bruce Smith and Phil Hansen, Cornelius Bennett, and Henry Jones, all these guys, it was still a bend but don't break defense. Like with all the great guys ever, it was still bend but don't break.
John, what was the best defense we've had in our lifetime? Maybe this isn't the conversation. Maybe that's got to be like an.
It was the 90s, probably.
It was still the 90s.
Bruce Smith, I mean.
Yeah. I mean, the Bills didn't really have a shutdown defense in the last 20 years or so. They've had some good defenses. You could argue.
They've had some good players over the years. You know, they're Aaron Schobels and Cal Williams and stuff. Nick Clemens and
Stop bringing up Aaron Schobel. He wasn't that good, John. You make him sound like he was like the second coming of Bruce Smith.
No,
He's
Antoine
okay.
Winfield, like they were fine. All these guys are fine, but you know,
Pat Williams. Not like good players, but not great. Like they've never had a great defense. I'd argue that like in our lifetimes, because we grew up at the tail end of the 90s, Bills watching them, like the Super Bowl era Bills, that they never had a dominant defense. They always, like you said, had a bend but don't break. Like they were always better than the other team, you know, just enough to limit them. But never great.
I think even in the Bruce Smith days, it was kind of like that. And they just were just that much better. It didn't matter for the others. I mean, they had good linebacker Cornelius Bennett, Gerald Talley, like
yeah, they did.
Henry Jones and defensive back. Kelso was okay. Like
Nate Odoms.
They good players. Is this
Mark
because
Kelso.
of the same name as you, Nate?
That's why I love Nate Odoms, because he's an amazing player and also just happened to have a great name.
No.
Some would say sexy.
If you go back far enough, in the earlier 80s, they had the Bermuda Triangle on the defense. So they actually had a nickname for their defense, which was kind of cool. So you have to go that far back to have a defense that had like a nickname.
Dude, I don't remember. That's interesting. I never heard the Bermuda Triangle. I never heard of that. And also, the Bills have never had a name on defense because they just never had one. Yeah. Not the secondary, not like the Legion of Boom, not like the linebackers were amazing or their defensive line. Like they just never had. Yeah. Interesting. Interesting. So, John, we're going to do a quick giveaway. So, for those people that are new to the podcast, we are giving away a Terry Johns of this season. So, be sure to get in there. If you guys want to know how you can be a part of this giveaway or any giveaway that we're doing from here on out, just leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, or if you do it on Spotify, because you can't put your name on Spotify, you can just screenshot it to me. A couple of you did that this last week, which is awesome. Appreciate you guys doing that. There's and then also if you leave some messages for us or some comments over Facebook or YouTube or whatever. Like I just got Joey Hatch in recently. We mentioned John Robert was in here several times. Jeremy Fox, I'm putting in now because Jeremy Fox just came in with that cool YouTube comment, literally putting his name in. He might win tonight. I don't really know, but that's pretty cool. And then a lot of you people that have been watching and listening for a while, you're already in there. So John, for this, for those that weren't paying attention in the beginning, we're giving away this cool Tito's jersey, number 97. We did a cool collaboration with them a couple of years ago, and they gave us this cool stuff. I'd like to give it away to the listeners, just some cool stuff that we have. And then again, you guys will all be in, and there might even be some more cool Bills memorabilia in this box that I haven't mentioned that we're gonna give away too. So the one for the number 97 jersey, the Tito's jersey, is Lonnie Engel. Lonnie just messaged me over X, Twitter, the other day, saying he's coming to his first Bills game in a couple weeks, so that's good for him. Hopefully, I can send that to you before then, Johnny or Lonnie. So Lonnie, just shoot me an email, DM, whatever. Let me know that you heard the episode, and then you'll give me your address, and I'm going to ship it off to you this week. So cool. Thank you guys all for listening. As always, appreciate you guys being a part of this. John, any final thoughts before we sign off on this one?
No.
Same here. I think we covered everything and over covered some things too. So cool. Thank you guys all for listening. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Signing off for John.
Go Bills.
And for me, Nate, do good, be good. God bless. And go Bills. Until next time. Circle.
Thank you for listening to the Circling the Wagons podcast. Download and subscribe to us in your favorite podcast service. Email us at ctwpod@gmail.com. That's Charlie Tango Whiskey Pod @gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter @CTWPod. And most importantly, go Bills!
Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills, Nate.
Well, listen, the whole show is called Circling the Wagons. Say no more. I love it.